So this is my office, June 5th, 2024. And earlier this year, there was no floor to be seen. Different cabinets. We got these two shelving units a couple of months ago. And this was in the dining room. And the purpose was to get this out of the dining room. I still have... supposed to get a shipping container, a 40-foot high top. All my miniatures and dollhouse stuff will go there. I'm trying to get back to where I can do my scrapbooking and sewing and bookbinding. Those are all albums. I like the 8.5 by 11-inch papers much more than the 12 by 12s. Getting locked into their stuff. I can get to the closet if I just move this stuff around. My pens got knocked off of the shelf over there, kind of an extra desk space because I keep doing this. And I have my computers on the dining room table. So I play my games on that. I do my work and see all the tabs that are open. And all sorts of projects. I hadn't done my nails in a while, and this is my favorite brand. This stuff will last 3 weeks, and I am rough on my nails, and they will last 3 weeks. And normally, my fingernails grow out fast, so that's when I have to, you can tell that they've grown out. I got this real cheap because the metal, you can see where I put gold nail polish on this, and then I added some glue-on stick-on rhinestones. A friend made that for me. My son gave me this tea set for Mother's Day. Laminating, because I'm doing the book things, and I wanted a laminator to do the covers of the spiral books that I'm making. More laminating sheets. I don't have a lid for this, and I'm thinking about using a laminated sheet to cover this, and with the heat gun get it formed so it's something is sitting on top of there. I got so much stuff going on. I got those Temu things at Goodwill bins. I got 3 of them. They're all there. I don't think there's any damage to any of them. And I got them for $12 for 9 of them. So I got them on 3. They're gonna end up in the office when the other stuff gets out. My office. I've still been freeze drying. This is number 10 cans of mixed vegetables. I like that because there's some stuff in there that's not in the frozen. There's celery and potatoes. That's not normally in the frozen baggies. And lima beans. And then I did a number 10 hominy. This is a snack. It turns out really salty. And I did a number 10 of corn. So for the amount that you get, it's normally cheaper in the number 10 cans than in the freezer bags. But all of this, I'm trying to organize into those. You can see those are empty. I got sidetracked. I'm easily sidetracked. That's something I'm still learning to deal with. I got this bag of silk flowers, and I hung one of them up. I have white walls, so it just kind of disappeared. So now I need to paint this room so I can hang these off of the lights and have the lights coming through this long wisteria. But I grabbed every one of them that I saw at Goodwill, and then they also had these, and I thought, well, I'll find something to do with them. It's a sickness, okay? I confess it. It's a sickness, and if your brain doesn't work this way, just be grateful. Be happy that that's the way it works, that you don't deal with this. You probably deal with something totally different. One thing I did accomplish, and it will finish today when I get my latest Amazon order. This has a plexiglass cover because it was flopping. Like this is flopping, and how this wants to come out and will pop out. I've been picking up these Bibles at the thrift stores. They're all King James. I've got a video about that. But like this one has 2 Thessalonians chapter 5, 16 to 23 highlighted on this page. And this one has Psalms 119, 11. For thy word I have hid in my heart that might not sin against thee. This one has several about how wives and fathers, and that one is the Micah 6, 8. He had shown thee, O man, what is good, and what does the Lord require of thee, but to do justice, justly, and to love mercy, and to walk humbly with thy God. So these are things, I got some plexiglass coming in that's more appropriate for these sizes. And I have, this was an idea. A friend of mine shared an idea that she saw online where they did a wall of Bibles. And then she did one, and it's gorgeous. But I only have one, I technically only have one wall space that I can do that in, and I've already got another project in mind that I've not gotten to. Now these are prayer cards, but they're for the miniature Bibles. And in case you're not aware, these miniature Bibles are normally just New Testaments, and sometimes I'll have Psalms and Proverbs and just the New Testament. I have not found one that has all of the Old Testaments. And these are very small. This is for saucers, this plate hanger. But it's got these prayer cards for now. But I'm excited about it. This is, you know, something to encourage me. I walk by this multiple times. It's a reminder to pray and to hide, you know, try to memorize. I don't know why I'm having such difficulty memorizing verses. So this will get finished up today. The canopy that I've got a tarp over is where I've been storing the stuff that's going to end up in the container when we get it. And my husband has been working on just a lounging area out here. Mosquitoes love me though. That's the biggest problem. But it's slowly but surely taking off the jungle that we had here. He's been pressure washing and doing things, and those were where the camper, the steps for the camper that used to be here is going. And I already planted one this morning. Wow. Big difference between this and the previous vase I had. This is going to get planted, and the glass will get thrown away. But there's always something, so much more to do here all the time. This, oh, there's a big grapevine growing over here. The sweet gum needs to be taken out before it gets bigger. I don't know why the previous owner did this rock thing, but I've been trying to add to it. All the pine trees need to be taken out. Those were stepping stones I had in our former yard before, and we had that metal building built out there, and my husband dug up the stepping stones that the kids and I did. So here's another clacker. I made a big clacker, and I added the one that was out here kept falling apart because the paper clips would lock in, and sometimes they would come off the chain. So now I'm wrapping them and seeing how well they last. So at least this one's not falling out. I got one Asian sweet potato planted, and I got more of these bags, and these are for They have the little thing that you can open up and dig out while not disturbing the top. We'll see if that works. But this is only half filled, and I will put more dirt to hopefully encourage it to grow more of these potatoes. I've mentioned it in other videos, but instead of making you hunt it down, Asian sweet potatoes, the leaves and the stems are edible. I had one growing in the house for years, and it finally died. Probably I didn't water it like I should have. But the leaves, so you can grow it. It does not need bees to propagate it. It will make more tubers in the dirt and in the planter, in the ground, however you do it. So this is a very highly important plant. So you don't have to wait. I'm not sure if you can do that with regular orange sweet potatoes, American sweet potatoes. But the Asian ones are made to, you eat the stems of the leaves. You probably can eat this, but they can get woody. The vine itself, that is. These I had on my windowsills for a couple of months, and I'll get another one set up and get that one planted and get a garden. The shade here is important. It gets very hot. And it's okay if it's partial. There's a lot of plants that say it's full sun that can grow into shade, especially in a hot place like this. I'm not even going to walk over there. My husband went this morning to let the chickens out, and we don't have any more chickens. The predator got it. We've have caught raccoons, found snakes, big snakes in the past, not this year. And our chickens are been slowly getting dwindled by predators. And last week we found, I think it's an eagle. And it was stuck in the run. I didn't get a very, that's the only picture I took. I was so upset. And our chickens, we still had 2 grown laying hens, and a rooster, and a small, we think was a female chick, hadn't fully matured yet. So anyway, that was in the coop. And it was very stressed out. It was very upset. It's illegal. It is illegal to trap or kill or mess with predatory birds. In South Carolina, I think that's the way it is all over. That it may not be a federal law unless it's an endangered species, but otherwise there's prohibitions against harming them or doing anything against them. So this one was very stressed out. We can look at it. It looked. We don't know how long it was in there, because we just opened the door and we let our chickens go in and out and do their stuff, and some of them will stay there laying an egg, or when they get broody they stay in there. So my husband I got away where it couldn't see me, so I was on the other side of the metal shed, and my husband got onto the back part where it was and just kind of got it to go toward the gate, and I didn't catch it coming out, but I got it flying away.
Pretty tired.
I can't tell where it is in the tree. Then it flew off the property, just barely off the property, to that tree that you see on the other side of that post. And then when my husband walked by later, it was still up there and it fussed at him. So it may have had a nest, but We don't know what happened. They were closed up last night and weren't there this morning, so it probably wasn't that bird that time. It may have been one that took one of the birds earlier this year, but everything's having babies. You know, babies are coming out or being hatched, and they're trying to feed their young'uns. And everything loves chicken. They just do. Now, that's Toto. He showed up 1 week after we moved in this place in 2015. And we got him fixed. We don't let him go inside. He doesn't like to go inside. She's new, and she's friendly, and she's probably pregnant because there's a black and white cat out here now too that showed up before she showed up, and the males were having some issues with each other. Yeah, I think she's pregnant. That belly says pregnant. Another responsibility I'm gonna fall in love with them. And then I'm gonna have to have them inside. Then I'm gonna have to have a litter box, and I'm not good at keeping up with that. And I know that, so I really shouldn't. But people dump animals out here. Notice that window unit. Pay attention. It's a U-frame, so the window goes much lower, so just a little bit. It's almost like a hybrid mini split window unit. So you get to see the mess. It's making a noise it shouldn't be, but my husband hadn't. He's just as busy. He's busier than me. But that's what shows, and the curtain can actually hang behind there. So there's only a little bit of a gap. Well, a little bit more than that, but it's not the full window unit gap. So we bought 2 of them last year for a little, like $399 something. And it's 1,200 BTUs, which means 1 ton. And we are using a little window unit in our bedroom, in the master bedroom. And we started using that at the end of summer last year. So we'd already gotten through most of the summer before our HVAC just couldn't keep up. Every year, we've had at least $300 to $1,000, and sometimes a little bit more than $1,000 work done on the HVAC system. It was still under warranty last year. The A-frame has a leak. With the warranty, it was still going to cost us at least $800 to replace the A-frame. And I said no. I said, I've already been talking about it. I said, I'd rather put window units. I don't care. It doesn't look great. I'm not happy about losing windows. But we're like, you know, we're not using these windows. This is totally blocked over here. But I was like, you know, we do this, it kind of flows, this half of the house is kind of all open until you get to the bedroom. So, I said, let's go ahead and instead of spending the $800 to repair the HVAC A-frame, we went and bought 2 of these for about $400 each. The heating of the HVAC works, so we didn't need to, you know, we don't need to worry about this being also a heater. You can get units that will do both, but this one is just the AC. So we saw on the Costco flyers that they now had them for $279. Same stuff. So we went and they were sold out, and they were supposed to get a truckload that day for like 20 more, and they didn't know where it was at, and they wouldn't let us pre-buy. So we got online. Online they were $20 more, but it was free shipping, so it's, you know, basically $20 of shipping. Within a week we had 2 more. So our HVAC system is a 3-ton unit. Each one of these is a ton. So we're replacing the little window unit that wasn't able to keep up very well last year, and now we're starting to get into the heat of the summers here in June. July and August is worse. We'll have 100+ degree days. So we're replacing that window unit, and that small window unit is going to go back out into the bus, because that's where we use it when we go camping during the summer. We use that window unit to cool the bus when we're plugged in. So we've got 2 more of these, thank God. So we got the other one. The other AC is down that way. I want to show you how cramped up things are. It's better than it was. I am making progress, but it's slow. And you know, any progress is better than no progress. But this is nice. I think somehow it got converted to Celsius, because it's 73 on the remote. But this is making a big difference. So this is a regular window unit. Yeah, and it's been here since, look how much since the beginning, since August, I think, last year. End of August, September. I collect vintage luggage. These are empty. I've got some more that are empty, but they look so much nicer than plastic totes. So part of our pantry and some more vintage luggage. I did have some baking stuff in there that I was using too often to have to put up top. So I'm trying to figure out what can I put up top there that I don't have to access as often. But many projects, ongoing projects. A vintage sewing machine my husband found. He's a reseller, so we have things going on his end, and then I find stuff. I found an old tackle box that he's got listed, and it had a whole bunch of stuff, bunch of still new tackle inside of it in the package, and that's working out. But I was worried about that cabinet getting damaged. It does not open at the top. It opens in those are doors, and it's got drawers and a open space on the bottom. And it was going to get messed up where I had it, so I definitely didn't want it to get messed up. So it got moved over here. I just found this yesterday. Got all 10. I'm so thrilled about that. It's copyright 1964, and I will read that. It's got some really, really cool things in there. And as much as I love the internet, I like a hard copy in my hand at times. And that's been really nice, because it's been keeping this area, which has the most traffic and ends up with the most yuck, and it's been working. And life is messy. Been watching someone talk about the influencer madness, craziness that, you know, I grew up in the 70s and watching TV, and then when we got to reruns and watching shows like Leave It to Beaver and Ozzie and Harriet, and these wives were dressed nicely. Mrs. Cleaver was in pearls, wearing pearls and high heels, mopping her kitchen. I've never mopped any place in heels, okay? Never happened. I don't think I've ever dressed up. I might be in my jammies when I do that kind of stuff. And you're watching Trad Wives, beautiful videos. One influencer, I was told she's 22, just had her third baby, just like 2 weeks ago. She's doing a video and she's baking something. She's making gum. It's bizarre. She's gorgeous, by the way. So she has a newborn. She's only 22, so that tells me her other kids are probably preschool age also, more than likely, or I doubt both of them are school age. So she's having to deal. She has helped to make these videos, because there's just no way. You know, she's got a nanny or somebody, a friend, somebody with the kids. You don't hear them cry, you don't hear them yell, you don't hear any of that. And that's not real life. That's a studio. That people don't understand that. Just like, you know, when I was watching Mrs. Cleaver, I'm going, I do not know a single mother when I was a child in the 70s that did that. Now, I've been fortunate enough to be a homemaker. I never planned on being a homemaker. I thought, just letting y'all see different things. I thought that I would always be working until the day of retirement. That was fine. That was what I was set up for. I was happy to do it. I've had some really incredible jobs. And then we got to a point where we just felt that I needed to stay home and homeschool the kids. And that first summer, before the school year started, that summer kicked my butt. And my kids are 8 years apart. One was going in the 10th grade and the other one was going in the 2nd grade. The younger one was going in the 2nd grade. And trying to get everything lined up. We did the most expensive route in South Carolina to homeschool, going through South Carolina Association of Independent Homeschools, SCAIS is what we called it. And that was the most expensive route to take, but I didn't know what I was doing, and I wanted all the help I can get, and they were very helpful. They were worth it. And living on just my husband's income, we were able to do that for one. When we bought a house together after we married, we went with my income. He made more money than me, but we went by my income that I could carry the mortgage and pay all the bills if he lost his job. Things were starting to happen in the economy in the 90s, and we paid attention. So here we are, late 90s, you know, and we bought our house in 92, excuse me, 92. And the mortgage on it was under $700 a month. Yeah, wrap your brain. We've never had rent or mortgage over $1,000. Never. We just did not put ourselves in that situation. In fact, we were told by one of my husband's cousins we were idiots for not maxing out what we could buy in a house. The same person who called us an idiot ends up calling us for money. Okay? Just letting you know that that's the kind of stuff that happens. Be careful who you call idiots when it comes to money. We planned it that way so that if either one of us, if I lost my job, no biggie, because he made more money, he can definitely carry the mortgage and all the bills. We had, at that time, I was still paying on my vehicle, and he had just bought a new vehicle before we got married. So we had those. We had some other things, but we were like, okay, this is what we're going to do. And then we got all of that taken care of and got out of debt. We lived in that house for 7 years, and we paid, you know, we paid a down payment and we paid extra every month on that house, and we hardly saw the balance of that loan, the mortgage, go down. We did better than most people at that time. So we got out of there and we walked away with $2,000 after selling that house. After 7 years living on that house in an HOA. We didn't know about HOAs. That's another story. Like the first and only time we ever lived in an HOA. We're now in the woods. We ended up moving to his property that he already owned. We bought a repo double wide and moved into it. The goal was to be totally debt-free by the time our daughter started college. Remember, she's in the 10th grade. At that point, she was going into the 10th grade. And another goal was that she can have a horse on the property, which we couldn't do that in the HOA, even though we had enough property to do a horse. That wasn't allowed, no farm animals. But the whole thing is, since then, we've borrowed money, and the mortgage on this house that we had, that was crazy. We got rid of them. They try to screw us over every single month. We send in extra to principal, written on there, written on the stub, written on the check, and they would put it to escrow. They would put it toward interest, and I would check it online and had to call somebody every month. This was every month for almost 3 years, until we finally said, we're done. We're going to pay it off and just get out of it. And then they were wondering, oh, why are y'all paying it off? Y'all don't have to pay it off. Yeah, we did. That's another story. But if you're willing to do things differently, not keep up with everyone else that's in debt. You don't have to do Dave Ramsey's. We kind of did something a little differently. We kind of did a combo of Rich Dad, Poor Dad and Dave Ramsey, and just lived below our means. We bought used cars for years. 2013, we bought my little Kia. Love it. It's 11 years old now. We've had it for 11 years, and it's not perfect. It's got stuff. It's getting there. But I'm driving that until the wheels fall off. I'm not selling it. I'm not. We know the maintenance on it. But the whole thing is, when you see someone's life and they're going on vacation and after vacation after vacation, and you're like, well, why can't I live like that? Well, you can if you change things differently, but know that they're not living that life either. They're making you think they're living that life so that you're following their content. Here, it's a mess. I'm saving those green bottles for a project. So they're going to end up in the greenhouse. I think those are some purses, a couple of Agners in there too. I know that's an old thing, isn't it? But anyway, those my husband has listed, and we go through that table. I'm keeping it. I told my husband to list it for no less than $400. It's old, but I love it. I don't want to sell it. And it's going to end up in the dining room so I can have my tea parties with it. And that's the kind of life I want to build, a life I don't need a vacation from. And vacations are work for me. I put in so much work when we go, and then when we come back, it's all me doing all the work, and so that my husband can relax and enjoy his time. I am far more a trad wife than those gorgeous babes that you see doing trad wife videos. So just be aware. Reality is not so real with some people. And I'll tell some more stories in future videos and progress that I'm making here. Thanks for watching. If you've come through this whole thing with me, be a blessing and be blessed.